Hey everyone, it's ThatsRidonkulous again, doing another judging of a source mod competition. Who would have thought? This one is not live streamed. This one is just being recorded because I am kind of in a little transitory kind of deal. So the webcam stays off. Sorry. Anyway, this is Halloween Horror 6. Can't even read my Roman numerals correctly. Freeze 2. I helped make the logo for this comp, but that was about it. And as of recording this on January 25th, I'm a bit behind. So, but I'm here. We got how many entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 8 entries. All right, so this will be lickety split. Watch this still be like a fucking 3-hour long video. Anyway. Starting off, got bonus entries mixed in, so this is gonna be a bit difficult to. I guess it's just the middle column, really. The middle column and this other one. But so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 regular entries, and 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 regular entries. I can't even do basic counting. 4 and 4. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My brain is not. Whatever. Beneath the Shelled Skies by Z-Box. Notice there's a noise grain, sort of like a film grain, on here, which is oh, can't crouch, can't jump, can't sprint. Okay. The film grain, which adds a different level of It just makes shit look different. Right off the bat, we have either some really intricate custom brushwork using displacements or models. Definitely custom models or textures using these. Very organic structures, which is a pain in the ass to do in Source. So if this was all done with brushwork, then hats off. This also speaks to how different, I don't think there's a single, aside from maybe the snow texture, I don't think there's any stock assets that you would find in Half-Life 2. Like, a lot of this is custom, and that does a world of difference in horror when you're trying to pull the player into a different reality and remove all sense of familiarity with them. Yuck, gross. Wonder if these will be reskinned head crabs at some point, since that one already has animation, but these are all kind of modular ones. I just flip myself around a bit. Fleshy. I've never played Score, and I've seen a little bit from it, but that's not good. Probably have to go back and shoot those head crabs. Cool gun. Interesting. So it's not a projectile weapon, it's a, it's like a fart gun, pretty much? It's hard to describe any other way. You. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. It's pretty neat. It's a different dynamic on how to, use a gun. Don't do that. It's not very nice. Do it again, I dare you. Interesting, okay. Good introduction to the enemy. You have a I mean, this is just like design 101, pretty much. Whenever you have a button, you show the player what it does by just positioning it correctly. You could have easily just put the button here, but then you're like, okay, well, what does that do? I'm not really seeing anything about that. So putting it here in the middle of the room, while it's not maybe realistic, it's built with the design in mind. And honestly, we're not really in a realistic location by any stretch of the imagination, so you can get away with a lot of stuff using this setting. Sorry, that was my Windows freaking out. I feel like this was used at some point in Half-Life or Half-Life 2, but it's definitely been used a lot in source mods to use the button that you have to hold down for a bit to force enemy interaction here. This gives you a pretty clear observation window into seeing how this enemy functions. Then you kind of have to deal with that threat unless you really went out of your way to not goop all over the fucker. So I don't know. We're very clearly in like a tutorial section. Do appreciate the verticality of going down into this bunker and back out again. I feel like verticality is not shown very much or considered, especially in blockout. And the more you do, the earlier you do the verticality in your blockouts, I feel like the more interesting your levels are going to be. Because, for instance, this could have just been a straight corridor flat all the way across, but instead it's looking down upon the subject, which isn't necessary, but it makes the space a lot more interesting. And I mean, you're playing a 3D game, so why not use all, three axes to engage? It's not just a flat, horizontal all the way across. That'd be boring. So it's definitely a good. Oh, I didn't even notice this particle effect coming off the corpses. That's nice. I like that. Cool. But yeah, mappers need to employ more verticality so that they can challenge themselves and make more interesting levels in all three degrees of space. I was able to identify that enemy. Oh. I do like interspersing the enemies to make them there's something. Okay. There's something like blocking my pathing here, so I imagine it's probably going to be a big enemy, or maybe it's just convex collision on these ice models. They have no friction whatsoever, which is a pretty interesting thing that I'm hoping is going to be expanded upon later. But it is a bit interesting to see enemies interspersed with corpses to make them less identifiable. This kind of goes back to the whole don't use Half-Life 2 stock assets for fucking everything when you're doing horror, because it's pretty predictable. And this is a pretty good example of that. I just got lucky enough to notice the like little flesh collar on this one slumped up against the wall and be like, hey, I think that's an enemy, because I haven't seen any corpses looking like that recently. But that does bring into question where's my thought process going? This does bring into question like where those enemies would have triggered. I guess maybe if I went in here, those enemies would be behind me, or maybe I might see them at a later point. I'm not entirely sure. Let's check out what's over here real quick. Pretty obtuse invisible wall there. I really felt like I could go that way. If anything, I would have just put more bars here so that it's just a nice set piece to look at rather than being able to go up into that boat. And didn't see him come from the ceiling. That was good. Good enemy placement, keeping me on my toes. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we've now upgraded our weapon. Rather than picking up a different weapon to cycle between, we now have our close range and our projectile attack. Very cool. I like the concept of having just one weapon and upgrading it throughout. Now the question is, what are we gonna do here? Why do we need a projectile attack? A couple questions to be answered in the near future, I think. What if I just shoved a projectile right in there? I didn't think that would do anything. Person can dream. Okay, so it looks like these different prongs are a bunch of different heights. So it looks like I just have to... I mean, I would line it up visually, but it looks like the antenna kind of flashes when I have it at the right angle, so I can just extend from there. It's a pretty accessible puzzle. It's tough making abstract puzzles like this where it's like, you know, nothing, I can identify nothing from this puzzle other than thingo and hole, right? But that's the interesting challenge about making these abstract puzzles. Alright, I think I put power into something. I guess I'll go back out here. I hear more enemies. I guess there was a third one I neglected. That's interesting. You could have easily just made these enemies just spawn, but instead they were already here, and if you took them out earlier, you would have had an easier time on the way back. That's a pretty interesting strategy. It does minimize the amount of, like, designer magic that's happening. Okay, looks like I have to go back somewhere. I don't know where that door leads quite yet. Maybe it comes from over there? Aha. Alright. This is a great use of projected textures too. It also helps make this not feel like Source. Very cool. I imagine a lot of work was put into the architecture and texture work and just trying to make it look... yeah. Yeah, great stuff. That's a nice little bite-sized snippet. Pretty clean, straightforward design on all fronts, from enemy design, though I would have expected one more enemy, or maybe like a boss in the courtyard, or mini-boss rather, some kind of heavier, more formidable opponent. But I understand like a lot of work was put in this, and you know, regardless, it was fine. Great flow, good use of verticality, level design was excellent, enemy design was solid. No real complaints about any of it, it's just a well-executed level, and it's a pretty good, for new designers and mappers trying to get into things, I feel like that's a pretty good North Star on how you should structure your levels and lace things out. Progression-wise, design-wise, a little bit of backtracking, that type of thing. Really great, really great. Usually, a lot of entries would have that has good art would kind of not place as much focus onto the design, but as a matter of fact, this level did both very well. I imagine that might have been just like delegating art to artists and keeping the design to the designers, that type of thing, and then eventually marrying those two concepts, or those two departments, in towards the end of development. But it just, I mean, you can tell that like this was blocked out, definitely, because you wouldn't put this amount of work into architecture and the art before having a set layout. So yeah, really good process all the way through. Just solid, excellent work on all fronts. Moving on to point 17. I don't recognize this name, so this might be a new entrant, but if this is just an entrant using their real name, I apologize for not recognizing you. Alright. I don't have a crosshair, so I'm wondering if that was from the mapper's intent, or if this was a leftover from the previous map when they were doing credits. We'll find out. Actually, you know what? I'll go back into this map. Never mind, it would already disable the crosshair originally, so that wouldn't make any difference. If the crosshair was supposed to be enabled here, I'll enable it later on. Otherwise, it's just a strange design decision to remove the crosshair right away. I kind of just stumbled across the crowbar. I haven't even really went to this other side of the room yet. Clearly I need to disable the painful gas there and to break through those crates, so maybe it's a two-part puzzle. A little bit of a goodie hidden there. Awesome. Ooh. Another goodie. Love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so design language in Half-Life 2 tells players that those boards are 9 out of 10 times extremely breakable. So if you wanted to do that, I would have instead made it like metal boards or something heavier that kind of says, hey, this isn't actually breakable. Do I use the pistol on this? Okay, a bit strange, but I see what you're going for there. Interesting. I would have just not used breakable wooden board planks and then made them breakable. Even using like a plywood fucking or a cardboard texture, I don't think there's any down here, but like a giant plywood like brush to be a ramp, that could also work too, or simply simplifying this puzzle. It's more of a goofy Rube Goldberg machine. I mean, it's charming in its own right, but it's also making something more complicated than it has to be. Which was a bit weird because I feel like you could have swapped the location of the pistol and the crowbar, and possibly even just left the bunks to be this side and this side and not here, because this is a lot of space to explore. I would have moved the gun locker like here or here, and maybe instead of whatever this is, breakable planks, maybe explosive barrels, because that kind of communicates, okay, these are shootable items, and it would be dumb of me to melee this item as opposed to wood, which is more intuitive to melee the item than it is to shoot the item. But nonetheless, I would have put the gun locker somewhere here with the padlock on it and be like, okay, well, I need something to break the padlock. So then that would encourage me to look around elsewhere and probably find the crowbar maybe over here instead and be like, okay, well, I got the crowbar. Now I can go back to the gun locker and get the valve. But another thing is that I would have probably flipped this room. I would have just mirrored this room entirely. I would have put this doorway with all this other stuff here, closest to the player spawn, so they see, okay, door, pipes, valve. So I need a valve. Where am I going to find the valve? It has a more logistical flow rather than finding the answer to the puzzle before you even find the problem. I would have put, you know, like I said, door here, valve, so that the player spawns, they go, okay, I need a valve, I need to find a valve. So then pretend that this is on the other side to be like, okay, well, it looks like this fence is over here, this fence is over there. They'd be like, okay, well, so there's the valve, but how do I get to the valve? And hypothetically, if my other suggestions with the gun locker or whatever would be like, okay, well, is the valve, here's like explosive something or other, or something that I could shoot. How am I going to get something that's going to shoot? Maybe a gun locker, but the gun locker is kind of a surprise item because you can't see what's exactly in the gun locker, so I would have taken it a step further and put like some kind of window in the gun locker, or maybe make it like an armory that like has like a similar gate like this, where you can see through but you can't access it. So be like, okay, so the gun's behind, you know, this window, of the gun locker, whatever. So now I need to open the gun locker, but the gun locker has a padlock. How am I going to get a padlock? It seems like I need to look around for something, maybe like a melee weapon. And then you find the crowbar, and you're like, okay, now I know what I got to do. Boom. So now the player solves this in their head. All right, take the crowbar, go get the gun. Good. Progression forwarded. Now I have the gun. Now I can go across the room to shoot the whatever. Now I have the valve, and now I can go way back to the beginning of the room, which would be like this doorway over here next to the spawn. Be like, okay, now I have the valve. I put it in here. Boom. Room solved. You have all the pieces to a good puzzle and progression. It's just I feel like you may have designed it, not designed it backwards, but you've placed all these breadcrumbs in like a reverse trail, if that makes sense. So I feel just like when you're doing puzzles and progression, just, I mean, I'm yapping for, or I'm already yapped in this room for like fucking like 7 minutes, so I apologize, but this is good. This is good. It's mostly logical, like it's mostly there. I would have just flipped a lot of the like I would have reversed the positioning of everything, like door goes here, pistol maybe there, crowbar here, and fucking valve here, probably. Something like that. I don't know. Okay, well, is this electric water, and is this going to hurt me? I see generators. Is this gonna hurt me? Is this gonna kill me? No, it's not. Interesting. I really expected water plus industrial room plus with these like fucking wooden spools and stuff to electrify the water. Zombine with no head. Oh, these aren't zombines, these are just regular zombies with the zombine remodel. Okay, so this is a really big room. A lot of exploration could be encouraged here. It just feels very open and dead in the middle. Now, I might be going back. That's always a possibility. But I probably would have put like a giant like pillar or something to make the room not feel just like a square box. Some kind of like giant thick pillar, maybe make the room roundish or something, I don't know. Something to kind of break up the sight line of everything. I expected this water to be electrified when I turned on the power, just because typically designers don't go out of their way to put water in a level unless it has some kind of significance. But, I mean, even if you wanted to use water as a flooded mechanic for cosmetic purposes, that also is totally fine. If you wanted to turn this room into a puzzle, it would have been cool to electrify the water when the power's on, but also have the power be able to be toggled on and off so that the player could walk around this room and, like, alright, I'm gonna put this barrel here, I'm gonna put this barrel here, I'm gonna put this barrel here. Alright, and then when the power goes on or whatever, like, you would make like a prop bridge out of what you already made. Barrels probably aren't the best, maybe crates or these spools or whatever. I wonder if there's anything back here, any goodies? Nope, nope. But you see what I'm getting at, like, just getting more longevity out of the room rather than, like, oh, hop up on this thing, to hop up on this thing, and follow the light to go here, to press a button that opens this door so that you can press another button to leave the room. Rather, instead of that, you could have it be like, alright, you walk in the room, you find the exit, be like, alright, power needs to be on, naturally, get it, alright, power's up there, how do I get up there? You could either use the ladder or... Apparently that parkour system, which is what made me think that the room would be electrified, is that we're kind of hopping out of the water for most of our journey here. And then just kind of like make like a bridge across, you know. I definitely would have some kind of like pillar here just to make the room feel bigger or more complex, because I kind of feel pretty safe in this room having a full view of everything. So just having a giant like fucking pillar in the middle of the room might have, I'm talking like, you know, from like here all the way around, so that you could, when you walk in, you can see the exit and you can see this, but you have no idea what's like back here in between. So it kind of just adds a little bit more excitement and anticipation to the room, which also affords you the opportunity of potentially putting in like enemies or goodies or secrets or whatever else. So if that door's closed, I'm sure it'll open at some other point. We'll find out. Large spiral stairs. No going through there. I do like that you had sounds on that one. That was like an access denied. That interactiveness is kind of overlooked by a lot of designers. Ooh, surprise. That interactivity is kind of overlooked by a lot of designers, so it's cool that you were able to add that, but I feel like you should also add that access denied sound to all of the other ones, like this one, for instance, just to kind of have some continuity. What happens if I tread off the beaten path? These beacons look nice. I like the kit bash. If I, could use a fog and signposting for a lot of stuff. I need a new wheel and some fuel if I want to leave this place. Can I get in this house? There's definitely playable items in there. The door's on there. Was this ripped from Half-Life? Or did you make this? I think you made this. I was gonna say, where's the fucking door? I don't fully understand why you stripped my weapons as I fell through that one vent, and then just gave me the weapons back when I found the gravity gun? Couldn't I have just kept them? I am a bit hesitant to kind of just... Is there autosaves? There is autosaves. Excellent. I'm considerably hesitant to just blindly walk. Yeah, figured that was why. Oh, there's the wheel. Did you like the color coding of, different objectives. Pretty good encounter with only 2 enemies. The Zombine and Poison Zombie created a pretty interesting dynamic. I heard that. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Good surprise at the end of the backtrack. Wonder if there's gonna be any more enemies waiting for me. Oh, I had an SMG grenade. Okay. Closing all these fucking doors. Ah, okay. You didn't. You didn't feel like making an exit cutscene or whatever to the map. I get that. I feel that. Pretty solid. I feel like you could have just dropped the entire beginning part and put more focus on the field and have a couple like red herring beacons in the snowfield. That would have been pretty cool, because I mean you have a big open space. You know you had a good grasp on the atmosphere of that specific part. It really just felt like between the facility and the snowfield that those were just 2 completely different maps that you just like stitched together. So I would have just focused on the snowfield, because I feel like the snowfield was a bit stronger and more interesting. Granted, it was pretty much just like a barren, empty place with a couple landmarks, but you can do a lot with that by having, like I said, red herring beacons, you know, places that don't necessarily progress, but they're just interesting points of interest regardless. And some stuff might not even have to be marked. You could have stuff like fire. You could have stuff like a zombie that's like has a beacon sticking out of its chest or something. And you're like, oh fuck, that's not a beacon. That's something completely different. And other like points of interest that aren't even like marked. Maybe like a fucking like bunker or something that the player stumbles across. This is actually pretty inspiring for me. I think I would do like a snow level that has a bunch of points of interest, but it kind of plays on that system and kind of what's it called? Kind of surprises the player in a couple of ways. Pretty solid. I liked it. Nice. Cabin Fever by Zepazard. This is a familiar name. I don't think I will. This is good framing. I like this. I didn't see this on the way to the door, but on the way back, just the faintest like little snowman here. That would have been cool if like you blocked off this part of the kitchen entirely, and then you went here, and then just like the snowman kind of like like you're like, what the fuck did I see? I'm hoping that this map doesn't suffer from character commenting on everything syndrome. I hope that. Okay, bit bizarre, like the lighting placement though. like, why did the knocking stop? It's like, well, yeah, me as a player, I can kind of, I've observed that. I don't need the player, or I don't need my character commenting on it. It kind of ruins the immersion of me as the player, you know, rather than like, oh, you're supposed to be a character. Interesting. I might have to hide at some point. The lack of soundscape normally, yeah, let's go outside. Normally I would not like that, but the claustrophobia and lighting conditions of the inside here are building up an extreme amount of tension, which is fantastic. It's just dead quiet. The only and the gentle noise of just the fire and how quiet like these door knocks are, is the subtlety in that amplifies the tense atmosphere. I'm constantly saving because I'm genuinely anticipating a jump scare. Is it? Wait, is the snowman here? He's not there anymore. Oh no, he's still there. Fuck. Ooh. Fucking corpse barreling through the window. I didn't quite see. Okay, so what happens if, Okay, so there's actually no urgency, okay. I thought it would be like under like a timer or something, but I guess not. Okay, so if I look just at the door here, like I saw red for like a brief second, but I didn't see anything happen. Ah, okay, there it is. Okay. Cool. I like how quiet everything was. That was good tension. I mean, the scare was but and the fucking the piano was I mean, it was custom, sure, but it was almost a little like goofy in a way. I liked it. I feel like you could have done a bit less with like the text and more of just like some subtleties. With like, you know, oh the snowman who was here earlier isn't here anymore, or you know, some like slight adjustments to the environment that the player would be like, was that always like that before? Type thing. Really good foundation for some really good horror. Had a really good atmosphere, which is one of the bigger things about horror. My frequency of saving should have kind of clued you into that, because I was feeling very insecure about progressing. I was like, any one of these moments it'll be a jump scare. This is Trouble at the Gas Station by Arctics.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Reports from witnesses to the affected people acted as though they were in a kind of trance, were killing and eating their victims, prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they killed. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you. Reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation.
Just getting thrown right into it.
No one is
safe. Pretty good, like, blitzkrieg.
Hell! I wondered if you were gonna make it in time.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Gordon, before you go. Funny, very like Half-Life. Okay.
Who is this? Another life the same? I am Father Gregory. You have already met my congregation. Look to your own salvation.
Look out, Father Gregory. Your minions. They're closing in on you. Okay.
Gordon! Help! Help! Oh my god.
Okay. It was like a speed run through like some like parallel universe of Half-Life. That radio newscast was pretty good. I liked how you kind of just like threw the player into it with the radio contextualizing what's going on while you're just in a frenetic state. Kind of like figuring it out while you're experiencing it firsthand. It's almost like it's being narrated. The Barney thing was goofy. Thanks for the gun. Grigori fight could have been cool if it was more than just a square room. If it had like a couple adjacent rooms or some kind of like level of verticality where like you kind of like work your way up to Grigori, I feel like that would have been pretty cool. And then, again, if you had like adjacent rooms like hallways, stairways, catwalks, other stuff like that, it could be almost like a cat and mouse with Grigori, and the boss fight could be more exciting if he's kind of like running away from you actively. Grigori's also known for traps, so it'd be cool to like deal with his traps as a foe, not an ally. Maybe somehow being able to turn his traps against him by like forcing him to run away into one of his traps. I don't know, something like that. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool potential for that. Pretty solid. I liked it. This is another Cvox map named B. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Custom snow sound. Wonder if that was reused from the eye candy entry. You take down the snow. Oh, hello. This is nice. I have a feeling enemies are gonna get thrown into the mix here. Yep. Trying to use just the gravity gun. Nice. Music is nice. And it's a nice reimagining of Ravenholm. I wonder if they're gonna keep coming, or... I know I've been given firearms, but I kind of want to just use the gravity gun, as it's kind of the staple of Ravenholm. These fast-hit crabs are not making it easy for me. There we go. Why is there a gunship? Why? Oh, nice. guy cleared off. Oh. Oh. Wonder if we're gonna get graded on We're clearing off roofs. But only some of them. That's pretty fun. It's a cute concept. Combining like a chore game with actual I think I got most of them. We'll see. This is a cozy little spot. Ah, there's a crowbar right there. Whoops. Oh well. That was an interesting fusion of combat and like combat and like a chore game, like Viscera clean up the tail, or a little to the left or something like that. That's nice. Cool. Yeah. Fun little mini game. Pretty with the Northern Lights. Onward. I don't know much to say about it. It was just fun. Just a fun little, cute little mini game. The Ravenholm little space is a good setting. I feel like you don't really have any much to expand upon. But it did give me the idea that it would be cool to like shoot like snow and have a bunch of icicles kind of fall down like projectiles onto a group of zombies. But maybe that was intended too. We'll see. Rural Life by Stéphane Bunique. Brushwork vehicles, fuck yeah. Can I just leave? I can in fact just leave. Oh my god, this is sprawling. I wonder if there's any secrets back here. Nope. It's just the void. Trunk. Awesome. You'd love to see it. Gobville, 111 miles. Well, it goes without saying, if you're gonna let the player wander around... Oh, okay. If you're gonna let the player wander around, at least give them, fuck, I can't get back in. At least give them, like, make sure that there's nothing... Cool. As I was saying, if you're gonna allow the player to wander around, at least don't have any like dev bugs or anything back out there. I didn't understand a lick of that because of the accent and also the heavy radio, whatever. This is where captions would have come into play. Maybe you did have captions. Maybe I just didn't put them in. So I will change that and reload. to see if there actually was captions. Nope. No captions. Oh well. We need to give supplies to communities and help Steve and get gas. Okay. I think we got some gas. Blue crates are sent out, orange ones are for us. This garage door is gotta crowbar it. I just realized, okay. Wait, does this actually work? That's pretty... Alright, I soft locked, probably. Yeah. Just don't make them breakable. Just set them to a filter damage type, and then just make the damage type like plasma or something. So that... you don't have an issue with players breaking them instinctively, because they are quite literally these supply crates that, okay, so crowbarring the garage door doesn't even do anything, unlike the note said. That's kind of disappointing. Players are encouraged to break these, is what I'm saying. Blue crates are sent out, orange ones are for us. So do I just take the blue crates out then? Is that all that there is? These are normal sized crates. These are yellow. Whatever. I think I can make it. No, I can't make it 2 at a time. Fucking whatever. You can bring the rest of the crates over as well, but 1 is enough. I am going to be bringing the rest of the crates over because I don't want to take multiple trips. This is a bit of a chore. This does have some good opportunity for upgrades, like having like a push cart or something that teleports the crates over to your truck, or something goofy like that. Okay, that's a little loud. So like I can get like starting off just doing everything 1 by 1, but maybe you have like a crate backpack where you can carry up to 2 crates at a time, or you could have like a push car that you can carry, or you can just like push like a bunch of crates, maybe like 6 or something. Oh, that is... Do I get... Okay, I don't get them. Cool. I like it so far. What? What was I supposed to... These aren't orange, these are yellow, by the way. I would have just made them like green or something. Do I go back? Alright, I think I soft lock again by putting more than 1 crate in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this fucking trunk. I don't have a suit, so I can't scroll between weapons, so I don't know why I just picked up the shotgun. And also jumping around because it makes me move faster, because is there really a reason why, there's really no reason why I don't have a suit right now? Other than you just don't want the health and armor to be showing up on the bottom left, because... Can I bring the rest of the crates over as well? I don't think I can. Because I tried doing that, and it wouldn't let me. See, this would be exciting if it actually took me somewhere else. Was the crate delivered? It wasn't even delivered. Maybe there's a teleport trigger that's not firing. Maybe I have to be physically in the vehicle. Can I physically fit inside the vehicle? I can't physically fit inside the vehicle. Can I fit in the vehicle if I crouch? Okay, so I think I have to climb in through the trunk. Maybe? Hang on. I'm gonna cheat a bit and see if there's a trigger that I'm missing. Yeah, so I physically have to be in the driver's seat, even though I can't fit in the driver's seat here because of player bounding box. So I have to instead, I have to take... Sorry, that was Windows on my end. I have to take all three... I'm just gonna take one crate for now. I can't be bothered to do 3 again. I have to take, eventually, 3 crates out. Okay. Now what we gotta do... God, that is so fucking loud. Alright. I might just no-clip next time if I have to do this. I didn't bring my shotgun with me, but I don't even know this is gonna work. Hey, there we go. That was the problem. The crate is not in my trunk. Whoops. So what am I doing? That hurts my fucking ears when I do. Do I just fucking steal these crates? I feel like there should be a shopkeeper or something here. Well, I don't have a crate. I don't have a crate in my trunk because it didn't come with me. I feel like the landmark teleport just didn't work. There's nothing out here. Alright, we're gonna... Okay. Alright, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Heavily accented voice actor with radio static, no caption. You can do your own voice work regardless of your native language. You can even just speak in your native language. Just put captions in for English. just so I can understand, because it's difficult to understand any type of voice work when it has a heavy radio filter on it, especially if that radio is relaying key information. The map didn't really tell me anything, and the whiteboard didn't really tell me anything other than blue goes out, orange is for us. I'm missing so much, but I don't even know like where to start with that. I just don't have any direction whatsoever. Like, there are pieces there, but I cannot for the life of me figure it out, because I don't know what I'm doing, basically. I figure I'm delivering crates or doing something with crates, but when I got to the destination, the crate wasn't there, so am I not delivering crates? Like, what's going on? Or was it just a bug? This could have benefited from some playtesting, because I think any playtester would have been like, am I doing this right? And then you could have adjusted it accordingly. So definitely recommend hitting up the Map Labs Volunteers channel for playtests at any point during your development. A little playtesting goes a long way. I really like the car mechanic, and I really like the village mechanic, and I really like the concept of just going around to different destinations and, like, moving stuff around in a snowy wasteland. I like the courier gameplay. I just wish I knew what I was doing. If this shows up with, like, some changes, like, later on, I would love to play it again and give it a more thorough review, but I am so lost that I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to, and it just still isn't working, so I don't know how I can I don't know how I can account for that. I hope to see more, though. I really do. Because it looks promising. It just needs some polish in terms of, like, communicating with the player. Moving on. TThirtyFourEightyFive by King Sans, or EA on Discord. This is so fucking loud. I'm sorry, the rattling is just fucking killing me here. Alright, do I just shoot the barrier? Okay. Well, the controls are fine for basically a tank simulator. Was that something that I was supposed to be shooting at? Okay, sure. Oh boy. Okay, there's... I got somebody, but every single fucking, like, physics object, including my own shells that I'm firing, have turned into... Oh, Jesus. Can I just, like, destroy the platform he's on? Thank goodness. I don't get what the deal is with, Okay, I am now falling down. Come on, you can do it. I don't know which way I'm going. I killed a bunch of people, huzzah. I guess I just, knock down this tower? I wish there were, like, there was some kind of, like, sound feedback for reloading, because it's difficult to see targets, even with the white ring outline. That doesn't necessarily... Okay, my game crashed. That's definitely something. Relaunching right now. I enjoy the merit of making a functional tank. I don't see, other than it being frustratingly pitch black, what the horror element of this is. Oh my god. Even okay. Okay. Okay, we're moving. High explosive, maybe? Okay, maybe that wasn't enough. It's strange to me that my own shells that are being fired are being marked as targets. I don't understand that. I don't understand how that barricade just broke after 3 shells, when none of the 3 of them actually hit that. Can I just run this fucking person over? I feel like it would be easier for me just to run them over. That's so much more efficient. It's more fun that way too, honestly. I'm having a blast running people over. Alright, let's slowly knock this fucking tower down. Hello. Hang on, need some more momentum so I can kill you. Let me just turn around here. Hello, here I come. Oh, damn. Lucky bastard. I really don't want to fucking... See, the circles tell me, yes, where they are, but they're also just like, it's completely dark. Sorry, it's near pitch black. It's not entirely dark. But it's like, oh, here's where the targets are, and here's a gigantic, a gigantic, fucking, orb around them, where you can't even really quite see where they are. I'm saving, by the way, because I don't want this to crash again. This will be fun trying to get this person. I also have no actual indication of... I know generally where the shell is going to fire, but since I'm looking at the barrel from a 2/3 angle, I'm not actually able to see exactly where the projectile is going to land at anything beyond a point-blank distance. Okay. This is a very, weird ARG-like now. Kind of explicitly like, your winner type thing. I have to, I have to shoot myself at the end. Well, that was an interesting twist at the end. I liked the interesting twist at the end. I didn't like shooting, those targets. Instead of just like random people sprinkled around on the floor with a very limited, high explosive shell, I feel like you could have just kept everyone in like buildings and played more into like people's homes getting destroyed and focused more on destroying the homes rather than the people. Because I mean, that's also I'm not a big tank guy. I never played like any tank simulators or whatever, but I do know that like they're not really meant to like use the main cannon on just individual targets because it's very cumbersome, and this is a first-hand example why. The end was cool though. That actually turned into horror. Now I get it. Controls were clunky, but they could have been a lot worse, so I'm not really going to complain about them. I mean, the whole thing was just sluggish. I mean, yes, you're in a tank, but also, like, video games are supposed to be fun first and foremost, so if it's kind of sluggish and a bit of a slog to do the mission, it kind of isn't fun, and it doesn't want to make me complete it, but once I got the hang of it, it became a little more bearable. Still, I feel like could be using some room for improvement, maybe mowing someone down with a machine gun rather than, using the main fucking however many cannon on a tank. I had more fun running them over with the tank than actually shooting them because it was less cumbersome that way, and I also had like better registration that I actually killed the target. The sprites were annoying, but I understand that even like without the sprites, it would be a nightmare to try to complete that, to try to find 10 people in like near pitch blackness. So I feel like your headlights could have been a bit stronger and had like a more of a distance, so that it makes you feel more of like a predator hunting prey rather than like you're in the middle of nowhere and the people are kind of like watching you in a way. It's hard to describe. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's got a good foundation. It's a pretty solid, fun map. I feel like if you replace the snow texture with dirt, it wouldn't be freeze worthy. But that's neither here nor there. I feel like quite a few entries would be like, oh, if it's just a map that I made, but it happened to have snow. Up next is Cold Snap by One Up the bonus entry.
All right, this is my stop. Radio station 11. I'm supposed to meet Simon here.
I was gonna say there's no soundscape, but then there was.
Simon! Simon! No sign of him.
No Simon of them.
Here.
Bit blocky. Map could benefit from some fog, I think, to give it a bit of a haze, because this warm lighting kind of makes it feel a bit safe more than anything. That's a bit freaky. Lots of interconnected spaces. It's a bit strange. But I should probably sweep the house before I answer that radio, just so I know what the space is going to be like. Okay. I feel like I have a good thing of the layout. Freaky.
Looks like I need to find a battery. All the rockets in the world. And no launcher in sight. That's just great.
Hilarious if there's actually no rocket launcher in this level, and it's just there for that comment. This gate leads right to a hill. Found the battery. I don't know what these are.
Battery. I can use this.
Oh. Some kind of propane canister trap thing? Explosive device, maybe? Didn't expect that.
Automatic medical systems engaged. Morphine administered.
Ooh, loading a whole new level.
How long was I out? It's freezing. And it looks like they took the battery.
Oh, these are heaters. Okay. This makes sense now. This is new. One bullet. I'll use it on myself, I guess. Okay, this is cool that it actually saved my... not my progress, but that door was open when I last left it that way. Alright, this doesn't look sketchy at all.
Mission depleted.
Okay. I understand now. Fuck. Okay. I'm liking this. This is really good.
Mission depleted.
Okay, so it's not even like a, Okay, interesting. I thought I could kill him in like 3 or 4 shots, but I guess not. There's the stairs. So it's more like a use the gun to repel him temporarily than to actually kill him, which I regret knowing this now after having fired several shots.
This is Station 11. Do you read?
Station 11, we read you. Where is Simon?
Simon's gone. The Combine got him. But they're still here. And I'm out of supplies.
Hang in there, Station 11. Backup is on the way. ETA in 30 minutes.
But ammo, I'm not gonna last 30 seconds.
Copy that. Stand by for supplies.
Oh, whoops. So it's more about diverting him than to actually... It's more about diverting him than to actually try to kill him. Get out of here. I get it now.
Hello? This is Station 11. Do you read?
Station 11, we read you. Where is Simon?
That's interesting. I like that. I really like that. I feel like you could make almost like a full, like, broader game out of this.
Gone. The Combine got him.
Actually, it does remind me of... I don't know if... Did I even mention this before? There's an old horror game called Granny, which basically you're in, like, a house similar to like this, where there's just a lot of in-betweens. And you can't kill the enemy, but you can, like, disable them for a certain amount of time.
Copy that. Stand by for supplies.
Okay. I expected him to run away once I got the, like, still taking damage. But it looks like now it's just a 1v1.
Blood loss detected.
A pretty cool model.
That one's for you.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, that was, huh. I feel like you could have done a bit more with the outside. The house was fine. The basement reveal was fantastic. The radio was fine. I feel like maybe instead of one house, if you had two separate houses that were connected, right? Like, if you had the main house and then there was like a neighboring house or something, And you primarily would have to like, you would like maybe like the radio was in one and like the basement was in the other or something like that. So like it wouldn't be the same house that all the shit would be in, but instead it's one house and then across the way is a second house or another like maybe that garage or shed or something. But they're also connected underground, so that you could go to and from like the basement or whatever from like 2 different angles. And that'll give you and the enemy a bunch of flank routes. I feel just some depth to play around with, like requiring to either go outside and take some HP damage, or to stay indoors and pretty much bottleneck yourself. Hopefully that you don't come across that enemy. I also feel like the enemy could have benefit more from speed. Like, just straight up just make them, like, twice as fast as the player. So that if you were caught, you would have to, like, or maybe 1.5 times fast as the player. So that if you were caught, you would have to actually, like, evade and make it even more cat and mouse. Because once I got the shotgun, it felt like I was pretty much, like, golden. Fuck, even doing, like, the revolver as a deterrent was pretty cool. It didn't make sense that the shotgun didn't make him run away after I shot him a few times, as opposed to the revolver being like a bug repellent. I feel like it could have been better if you played more into that for a little bit longer, and that like you could only get ammo from, or not only get ammo, but like small ammo pickups for like individual rounds, but maybe you get like 6 rounds from like an armory or something that you would find. Stuff like an armory, garage, other landmarks that would require some form of risk, and also like exploring the level more thoroughly as like landmarks, but would also give a good, like, it would be a good area for either cat and mouse or for the enemy to be defending or something like that. I don't know. I mean, this is just me spitballing further ideas to further develop, but I think what you already posted here was fantastic. But to just play more into the freeze part of, like, you got the horror 100% down. You do great horror. But for the freeze part, I feel like you could play more with the outside. So rather than being like pretty much just one house and like the surrounding area is all just a bunch of like blocks, you could have like 2 actual buildings and be playing around both in and outside of those 2 buildings or something like that. I don't know. It was pretty cool, though. I liked it. So, that's it for the comp. Surprisingly knocked this out in only 90 minutes, so that's pretty great. All these entries had a unique charm to them that I liked. Yeah, there was not a single entry that I did not like. Hope I didn't give the impression of that. I feel like every single entry was fantastic, and ones that I might not have been as excited about have a really strong foundation to build. Like, these are all very creative ideas that you could flesh out. So, well done, everyone. Thanks again for the honor and privilege of me judging your entries to be officially scored, but it's just fun playing them from the community. Hope to see you again in a future competition. Hope to see there's quite a few new names here. There's a couple new names here. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing more from y'all. It's been great, really, genuinely. So with that, we're gonna get the hell out of here and wrap up this recording. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out my channel for other Map Labs related stuff, either from dev commentaries or hopefully at this point uploaded other judging streams or recordings. So yeah, thanks everyone. See ya.